Like I was looking and I know you used to be a very Microsoft guy. So you spent a ton of good time, like 6, 8 years in Microsoft. Now you're in AWS for pretty much 6 plus years. So I'm interested. I also like people to know, about this journey and, the cloud and these companies. So talk us more when you were there and now you're at AWS. So I wanted to know about.
Yeah, sure, Abnan. So yeah, so at Microsoft, yeah, I've been with Microsoft for about 8 years. I did various different roles. All of it was in the Middle East, various various countries. I started off, as a technology advisor, some partners at technology, moved to a solution specialist role, helping sell virtualization and private cloud kind of solutions. And then Azure came along, right? Microsoft kind of Azure. I became an Azure specialist. When I left Microsoft, I was a principal solution specialist for Azure. So I was working with customers in the Middle East region, some of Microsoft's top customers at that time in the region on Azure solutions. But I kind of hit that, I had quite a bit of a journey at Microsoft, right? Learned a lot, kind of reached that that point. And then I had this curiosity and interest to understand a bit more on other solutions that's available, right? Because when I started working on the cloud, I started looking at other cloud offerings that were available at the time. And this was interesting, right? Obviously, AWS has been around longer. And as a technologist, right, you want to work with some of that, interesting features and capabilities, right? AWS today has 200 plus services and a lot of features within those services too. And they're innovating at a very fast clip, right? 3,300 plus new capabilities. We just launched just in the last 1 year, right? So every year, there's new capabilities coming out. And as a passionate technologist that I am, right, I want to always work with the latest and latest. Right? That was the first thing that drew me to AWS. And at that time, this was actively recruiting for their public sector team in the Middle East. So I was hired as the first solution architect for public sector in the Middle East and North Africa region. Right? I was the first solution architect to get hired. I joined AWS and I found a very interesting culture, right? Very interesting culture. And that's one of the things that I really love about this company, right? Guided by the leadership principles that we have, you find everybody around you is really smart and really, you learn a lot from your peers. You learn a lot from your leaders. You also learn a lot from the people who work for you, right? And this incredible wealth of knowledge in this company, and everybody's so switched on. Everybody dives deep. Everybody has a tremendous bias for action, right? You know, it's a company that moves fast, right? And it's kind of like working for a startup, but it's a very large startup. Right? You kind of get that feeling. And yeah, so I grew a lot at AWS too, right? So I came in AWS as a solution architect. I was based in Bahrain. At that time, AWS building out a region in Bahrain. They were putting infrastructure into the country. And I was helping, with the solution architect stuff. But at the same time, I was recruiting a team as well, right? And then it became two solution architects, it became three. And before you knew it, I was leading the solution architecture team for AWS public sector in the Middle East and North Africa. The team grew so much that I had to hire a couple of managers and to help me, with that skill that we were going through. I learned a lot. AWS invested in me. AWS invested in my managerial skills, in my leadership skills, a lot of good training. And again, going with that learn and be curious mindset, right? And if you put that together with the enablement that you get in the company and the great leaders that you can, get mentored by, it helped me grow. About 5 years in, leading as the head of solution architecture for the Middle East and North Africa, I decided to do something different, right? Started looking EMEA, and then I moved to the worldwide specialist organization for end user compute. And I started leading the EMEA team. And last year I had the opportunity to actually lead the worldwide team for end user compute at AWS. So I think it's been a great journey. I've enjoyed every step of that. I'm really excited at some of the things that we are building for our customers and some of the new service capabilities that are coming out, every day from our service teams. And I'm really excited to be at the forefront of that. And I think it's a great place to work. It's a place where you can grow if you really put your mind to it and you put your heart to it. And, it's overall a great place to work.
So again, good to know, good to hear about your journey and how important the culture is. This is again, if you want to be looking for a long term in an organization, that's helpful. So let's move on to the next topic.